Hello guys! So we are here now to speak about the different questions in the IELTS listening test. The first one is the fill in the question type. So remember, this is usually at the beginning, so in part 1, and it looks like this, right? On the left, you've got some kind of like questions and some blanks next to it. So these questions may seem relatively simple, usually appeared in section 1. So one way to know if you're ready to take the IELTS test is get section 1 100% correct. That's the first step to passing your IELTS listening test. Because remember, the listening test in IELTS usually goes from simple, easy to more complex questions. So if you are making mistakes in the easiest part, section 1, in that case, yeah, you need to be honest with yourself and say, all right, I'm still making mistakes in part 1. I need to actually fix these mistakes and focus on my strategy and my techniques. Focus on listening to English every day, little by little, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, but every day. I need to practice the dictation and the micro listening more, much more, all right? So you see that if you take action and you follow these steps that I told you in my previous videos, then you'll realize that your sections, your different listening parts will improve considerably and you'll be ready for the exam, Okay, so another thing that we have to take into account is that the examiners like to trick you. So one common trick is that one person is giving you information, but then later on they will correct it or they will say something different. So if they do this, always write down the second piece because that is the correct one. All the questions, if you read them carefully, if you understand what they are asking you to do, it is very likely that you get your answers right because you will predict the answer, you will make a guess, and then when you listen, you will be looking for that. You will be focused on looking for that type of information, that specific type of information, and you discard all the extra information that they always give you to distract you, right? To trick you. So that's crucial. Prediction. When you make predictions, you need to be ready for listening to synonyms or paraphrasing. They will not give you the exact word you're looking for. So you need to try to be open-minded here and focus on the meaning, on the idea that you're looking for based on your prediction. Another thing is numbers, right? So typical numbers that IELTS like to use to trick you. So be careful with these ones, okay? Because they will be using them in the test. So practice listening to numbers and saying these numbers as well. Another thing that they usually do for phone numbers, telephone numbers, is that they change the way of giving the numbers, right? They don't give one number in isolation. What I tell my students is when the listening audio track is giving you numbers, write down the number in letters. So then when you're transferring your answers to the answer sheet, it is easier, much easier for you to take what you wrote in letters with words and then transfer it into a number. You have actually time to think about all these numbers that they've given you. So this is one trick. Another tricky point is when they spell, right? When they spell a name or a surname or a postcode, right? And they give you letters. So make yourself familiar with all the letter sounds. All these letters are usually very common in the listening test because basically they know they are difficult for learners and they want to trick you. So practice that as well. The more you become aware of this, the better. How do you practice it? Remember, we go after we do the practice test, we check our answers and we focus on the wrong answers we had, and we take the transcript. We go for the transcript of the listening test and we read the transcript, okay, and listen to it at the same time we are reading the transcript. Will help you understand what answers you got wrong and why. Okay, what was the reason you got them wrong? And what we do with the wrong answers is we listen to them again and we stop the audio. We write down the last sentence we've heard one by one word, and we continue doing this until we get the sentence 100% correct. How do we know that we have it 100% correct? Because we check it with the sentence that appears word by word in the transcript. Okay, as I said, this is a long process at the beginning because you will have a lot of wrong answers, but then by doing this you are improving, you're making progress, and you'll see that you'll get fewer and fewer wrong answers. So this will take days, it doesn't matter, we're looking for quality. Okay, so other things to take into account: dates of the week, to write them properly, like Wednesday, Thursday, all these months, difficult months, February. So remember, the way to write dates is not how we say them. The way to write dates is just with the number and the month. We don't use the 22nd of March. We don't use the and of when we write. We only give the date and the month. So remember, the word limit is crucial. In this case, it says no more than 3 words and or a number. So it means that if you write more than 3 words or a number, your answer will be incorrect. So just practice these kind of questions again and again. With the transcript, you'll have the feedback that you need when you do practice tests. Okay, so the second type will be a map or a planning. It is most likely to appear in section 2 because section 2 usually is one person talking about a non-academic topic, all right? So this type of question requires you to identify the different parts of the map or the plan. You really need to understand what's going on in the map, okay? So you are able to follow the description and the directions. So in this case, the main strategy is to understand, read carefully everything that appears in the map or in the diagram and visualize it. Mental visual images will help you imagine what it looks like, right? And it'll be easier for you to navigate your way around. So you could actually predict what type of words might be the answer, what they're asking me for. Another piece of advice that I always give my students is write all your listening and reading test in capital letters, all of it. So that's correct, all capital letters, and you don't have to be worried about anything else. Okay, what about the multiple choice? So the multiple choice usually is about a statement and you have A, B, C, or some other times you need to choose more than one option, right? Multiple choice could be shown in different ways. So usually what happens is you will be given the options and the speaker will be talking about all the options. So do not settle down for the first option you hear, because probably he'll continue giving you more information and speaking about all of them. So wait to have all the information to then make a choice. Once again, probably they will not mention the exact words you have in the answers. You need to look for paraphrasing, and you'll need to look for synonyms. So the best way to do this is you underline the keywords in the questions, so then you can easily make a difference between all the options. So for example, in this case, what can we actually underline here? Saturday morning, all day or all Saturday, or whole weekend. Remember, whole weekend is 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And I'll highlight as well shop, athlete or champion, shop. So I know that when I listen to something similar in the listening test, to something similar about a champion athlete in a shop, maybe they won't be using all these specific words, but some kind of like paraphrasing or synonym, then I could focus on the 3 keywords in the answers. Saturday morning, all Saturday, whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Remember that, because that could be an easy paraphrasing as well. Or once again, in this case, you have to choose 2 of all these answers. So underline key points. So this is about a fitness test. So I'll highlight fitness test and then reserve a place. Free holders got advice on how to improve your health. Advise improve health. Takes place in a special clinic. Plays in a special clinic or a special clinic. It is cheaper this month. So cheaper this month. This is how I do it. Don't spend too much time on one question. Remember, if you didn't get the answer, you make a guess and you continue, because listening test in IELTS will not be repeated. So you actually have to make sure you are not missing out the rest of the information in the task. Another very important trick is if in the listening, when the speaker is talking about something, they say or they use some contrast linking words, but, however, although, these kind of things, it means that they're going to contradict themselves and they are going to reject the first piece of information they mention. And they'll go for a new piece of information, which will be your right answer in the test. So be careful with that. About summary completion, you'll be giving a list of sentences that summarize the main listening task that you'll listen to. Usually it is, again, using paraphrasing to change the sentences, so they may have the same meaning, but they would say it in a different way. You should be able to read the sentences before listening, so you can have a very good idea about what you're going to hear. So again, prediction technique. You could use the sentences to predict what you're going to hear. This will help you follow the listening quite smoothly and hopefully get the correct answers more easily. So what things can I predict? I can predict the type of word that will fit grammatically. Remember that we need to predict the content, like the information, but also the grammatical word. If it is a verb, a noun, an adjective. So in this case, it says no more than 3 words and a number, or not more than 3 words or a number. If we are able to predict the information here, so we've got name Jacob, so then if I make a guess, probably it's a surname. Then address to be collected from, we've got the address, probably we need a number here. Postcode, remember that in the UK, postcodes go with letters and numbers. And then contents, clothes, then. So if I make a prediction, it would be noun. So clothes is a noun, so 6 and 7 would also be a noun. So as you can see, The main strategy is predictions and work on your wrong answers with the transcript, and you'll see a lot of progress in future practice tests. So I hope this helps. See you soon. Bye bye.